Let me bring the.
Welcome, everybody, to another rendition of the Attacking Third with my man Pat Bernard here next to me. I'm your host, Gustavo Seminario. You can call me Gus. It's much easier to pronounce because Pat still can't pronounce it to this day, and he's known me for 20 plus years. So, Pat, how are you doing today?
How am I doing? First of all, the question is, Gus. Last week, the Union beat New England 3-1. You were not bought in. You were still not convinced if you want to get on this ride or not. You were kind of sitting back on it, and you're like, I don't know if I want to do this. I'm not sure, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And here you are. You may be sitting in the front of this roller coaster ride because your Philadelphia Union, unlike the Phillies, they're not causing nobody gray hairs in this town. They're not pulling their hair out. They actually went to City Field and get themselves a W, not just a little W, a huge W, because they got you what I like to call a 1-2 punch. How do you want it? Do you want Carranza? Do you want Gazak? How do you want it? Because these two guys are delivering. Let me give you some notes, Gus, and I've written this down and people seen it. Dalen Gazak and Julian Carranza in the last 5 games, combined those guys have given you 9 goals. 9 goals alone from those two. Regular season play, won 6 out of 7 games. About 8 weeks ago, we looked at they were about what the 10th seed. Now they are sitting at the top of their third seed. So I mean, you're still a top three team in the Eastern Conference. Gus, are the Union back?
It sure looks like it, and it's really nice to see. Again, we still have some work to do, of course. That doesn't ever change. We still definitely got some work to do, but it looks like yeah, we in fact are back, and it's something that again I said it last week that I was looking for, right? So I haven't talked to you since what games ago, right? And in the last 2 games, that's exactly what's been happening. We've been playing our game again, and using the long ball and actually getting the ball in the back of the net, which is freaking beautiful. Fun fact to what you were just saying about Gazpag and Carranza, they've scored in the same game 20 plus times in the last between last season and this season, and that's impressive for a 1-2 punch like that. Because when Gazpag scores, Carranza likes to too,
And, and,
and
and go
and
ahead.
this past game, we'll talk about New York also, but this past game you saw it. The only reason that Carranza and Gazdak didn't score in the same game was because he just missed a wide open goal, which it happens. I can't blame him. He's been missing some of those throughout the whole season, but I got to tell you that we've been playing a lot better. And I know we only won 1-0 against Charlotte. Charlotte played really good defense this time around. I thought anyway. We saw a much better game from Brujo, from Martinez, night and day in comparison to New York. Because the first half it was just awful. He was just awful. But I'm glad that he's coming around. But yeah, I'm glad that we're kind of getting back to where we're used to.
Yes, this is how champions are played. I mean, maybe the Phillies might want to take more of a ride down Subaru Park, down Chester, PA, and maybe want to take a page out of Jim Curtin's playbook because what I've seen, this is the team that's showing up here for the summer. Because, like I said, I'm not going to get too much into the Phillies talk because I really want to focus here on this amazing turnaround of your Philadelphia Union
I
and
don't
what
want to
you were.
talk about the Phillies because I don't want to be depressed. But go ahead.
Right, right, right. So, but like you just hammered on it, and look, like you said, people might look for that high power offense. They didn't get that, but however, they forgot about the third party. That third party is what you call Andre Blake in the backfield, who stopped everything that came at him. You remember yesterday's game; they brought a lot of offensive power, and like you said, they were missing shots. They got called off sides a few times. We get all that, but however, Charlotte start to bring their offensive pressure, and Andre Blake being Andre Blake. I don't know if it's because the weather's starting to warm up just at the right time for these guys, but he was like an octopus, stopping anything that came in that
Well,
net. I mean,
listen, there is already an octopus, right? And that's
yes,
Pedro Galese from Orlando. That's his actual nickname.
really.
Yeah, it is. But no, I mean Blake is untouched. If there's one thing that the Philadelphia Union have that's consistent, it's the goalkeeper. He's been like that for a number of years, and that's something that I'm not that I don't have to worry about. It's something that the Union just look at and they feel safe. It's a security blanket because he, in fact, is a security blanket.
And right, and when you seen it too last night, when the defense plays well in front of them, forget it. When there's, obviously, I think that might have been one of the bigger issues, 2 months ago, is that there wasn't no defense playing in front of him. You would catch him yelling at his teammates, saying, pretty much get your head out of the ground. Like they have developed a great relationship to come around to play in front of them, and now all of a sudden, I think a lot of our questions are being answered here. Can this team win on the road? Check. Can they win at home? Check. Can where's Andre Blake been? Well, he's been around this whole time. It's just that there was never a defense in front of him. And like I just said, he's been yelling at his teammates. He said, "Hey, why don't you get your head out of the ground? I need you guys out of here." And I think he's the behind the scenes. I think he may be the captain of this team and getting these guys to gel. And then you're getting that 1-2 punch. And I don't know everyone else's scheme here, but I would figure if I was an opponent, the first two people I'm looking to shut down are Dylan Gazak and Julian Carranza. But how about But here goes another guy who looks really really sharp on the offense that we don't talk about. He looks like he's more of a facilitator. You might know more. You would know more than I would. It is Hura. Hura looks like he's been playing a really really
Ooh,
solid. He looks like he's been really really solid for a facilitator, making some good passes. And like I said, yesterday's game, last night's game, they get called of two offensive, offsides, which I look like, looks like he got that goal, but he got called back. Same thing
that one
with,
was a
Dan
little,
Gazak. You think it was questionable?
that's a little questionable. Yeah, I didn't. The first one was a little questionable because I thought he was on sides. It was really close. If it wasn't, it was one of those that without VAR, it's a goal. It was just way too close. And then the other one, I questioned the one at the end. I only questioned because I'm pretty sure that the pass was initiated by a deflection. If that was the case, it's not offsides. A
R-
deflection can cause an offside. So that's what I saw. I mean, it was clear to me. I think that it was clearly a deflection. And I think if it touched who was fighting for the ball, was it Martinez? I forget.
It might have been Martinez
Or
into
no,
the
it was
scratch.
Donovan. Was it Donovan? I forget who it was. But if it did hit them, then okay, it is offsides. But I didn't see that. I saw that it was a deflection, not an actual pass. So no, I don't believe that should have been called back. But we should have won this game like 3-0, four with
Yeah.
Carranza's um
What's
with
up,
Carranza.
Art?
Who's that? Who was that?
That's Art from our video game show. Just
Oh,
checking
what's
into.
going on? How's it going, brother?
Uh,
Um, but yeah, it's you win some, you lose some with the refs, with the rules. I know it can get to some people that don't follow soccer as much. The offside rule is actually, I've been told, a really complicated rule to kind of process, to know what's what. And you know what? It's true because sometimes there are instances where people that know soccer, they go back and
right.
forth and question whether it was offsides or not. I believe that this wasn't. Especially the first one, yeah, okay, you can make an argument for it, maybe an arm now that people are calling a finger offsides. But that second one, I think it should have been let go. They should have just let them play. But we still won the game. Um, it was right at the end, so all we had to do was just fall back and make sure that they didn't score. Which there was a couple of scares, but again, we have Andre Blake back there, so I'm not. Anytime we're in the situation, yeah, of course, I'm always anxious, but I'm never really actually scared. Just because we have that security blanket.
Yes, and that gives you a lead on everybody else, just like you said, and that's what the major takeaway was yesterday. You didn't get a tons of offensive power. I mean, and granted, like I said, right out the shoot, that's all you saw. I mean, this Union team, but like I said, they were missing their shots, and like I said, Charlotte coming back on the Union, you're like, oh no, and it's like, wait a minute, this is we're talking about, last year should have been the goaltender of the year and all that stuff. So I mean, this guy, the best of the best when it comes to playing goaltender. Like I said, he's really sharp between the light, in that net. So he's coming off very, very good. Again, we're not missing a beat with this team. And again, just everything is now starting to click for this Union team. Like you said,
Well, yeah,
on
this is the time to do it, right? Like this is the time. We now find ourselves from seventh spot up to three, right? So this is where we have to do it. This is the meat of the season. So this is where we have to start winning games, and we are. Last year when we went through this stretch, we ended up tying a whole bunch of games, and then just cleaned up at the end. We need to do this just consistently all year because there are teams that are just
So
not
let
losing.
me ask you guys, and this kind of goes like, again, I don't want to go, but in a Philly canoe, but them having those long stretch of games again, going to the postseason, and again going to the finals, and then just pretty much pouring their hearts out for this, for last season, and then coming up short, obviously. But now all of a sudden, and they come up to a slow start. But do you think they've got to, they've woken up? Do you think they're waking up and smell the coffee? Is pretty much what I'm saying now.
That's what it looks like. And again, what I wanted to see was some consistency. I've seen it for 3 games now, where they. I mean, there was a couple games. The game against New York was a little off, just because we started out kind of sloppy.
Hmm.
Martinez couldn't find his footing. The first touches were awful. We let out the goal by a mistake from Martinez in the first there, and they went up 1-0. But if you look at the New York game, it'll kind of tell you a little bit about where we are and how we're going back to last year, right? So when you look
Right.
at New York and Philly, right? New York had 16 shots on goal. I'm sorry, 16 shots altogether, right? To Philadelphia's 13. They had 7 shots on target to Philadelphia's 6,
Right.
right? And possession, they beat us by 20%. They had 60%, we had 40. Passes, 494 for New York, 322 for Philly. The pass accuracy, of course, New York was at 85% to our 75. They had more fouls, but just by one. But when you look at it, when you look at all that, like let's look at the shots on target here, right? They had 7, they scored one. We had 6, we scored 3. 50% conversion, right? Is like you can't ask for anything better than
Yes.
that. Right? So this is the kind of stuff like we don't have to have better numbers than the team that we're facing. We just have to make sure that the opportunities that we have, we're capitalizing on because they're making mistakes. Because that's how you play the union. That you play them aggressively, and if as long as we can capitalize with the mistakes they make while playing aggressively, then we can get back to a rhythm. Winning 1-0 against Charlotte, it's not a great game, right? But we looked good. And the
Yes. Yeah.
reason the reason that we didn't score more was because of the offsides and Carranza missing the. I can't believe he missed that shot too.
And look, and like I said, with all that being said, and I think them getting a couple of home games, under their belt, it's going to help them. They're not going to have to worry about going on the road. They're not going. And listen, um, them that they went up, they just went up to New York. They're coming back down. It's not that long of a road trip. They're going to be here. They go into Wednesday's game. Now they go into Saturday's game at home. So again, these guys are getting a couple home starts under their belt. So I mean, this now they're going to get like a lot of practice time. And then, like you said, they looked really good yesterday. Could it's just, if they would have capitalized like the offensive, and I think the rest could have known, like the all side calls weren't there. This could have game could have got ugly real fast for Charlotte. This could
Oh
have
yeah,
got ugly for
absolutely. Yeah.
Charlotte.
It could have been easily a 4-0 game because they did have some chances, but I mean, just Blake stopped them all. And we were playing really good defense. That formation that Carton put out the last 3 games with the five in the back, that's helping out a lot. It really is because again, it opened us up back to the long ball, which where we were missing so
Mhm.
much. It's not that we weren't doing it; we just weren't converting. We weren't getting the ball where it needed to be. The Philadelphia Union, that's how they play. They play the long ball. They play the 50-50 balls because most of the time, or a lot of the time, they win those balls, right? This past game against Charlotte, our 50-50 balls in our side and in our field, we weren't that good in defending those. That's how the Union, ironically, that's how they win. It's by fighting, contesting those, finding the open man, and putting the ball in the back of the net.
No, absolutely, and like I said, and that's what they're doing now. Like I said, big difference from two months ago, rather, because
Oh, absolutely.
you won 6 out of 7. I don't care about those other tournament play games. I know they're important. I know all that stuff, but this is where it matters. The regular season, MLS. This is where it matters. This is where you're going to stack up. Again, you've seen it. You and I both were there. We were hanging out at sports bars, and we went down there last year at the finals. We were there on the field hanging out with the people and Brett Harsh and all sorts. And anyway, I mean, you saw like once this team starts rolling in, and man, it's a good feeling to have, and that's what I'm having now about this team. I have this great feeling about this youth team. Like just when I was looking for answers for the summer, the Union have come up forefront it
Hmm.
to say here I am, and like you said, they're winning face-offs. They're winning this. They got a good midfield, and you got a good combination now with your top scorers doing what they're assigned to do. Like I said, the 1-2 punch is working. This duo of Carranza and Gaza, and like you said, you go back to that New York game where you see the one pass from Andre Blake. They got they got creative in the offensive zone, and there was Blake Carranza between two defenders, and he was like a rock waller. He zoomed past both defenders and found the back in the net. I mean, like I
He
said,
controlled the ball really, really nicely, which again, that's something that he has to work on because his first touch is just simply awful. When the
yeah,
ball's on the ground, his first touch is just awful. If it's in the air, it's a lot better.
right.
But that's something that he can work on. Hit that and the playing with his back to the net. That's something that Carranza's just not good at. But he is a presence. You have to pay attention to him when he's there, because in a heartbeat, you look at what happened against New York. In
Right.
extra time, he scored in 2 minutes. He scored 2 goals.
Right.
That's why you have to you have to make sure that you keep him you keep an eye on him, which again it frees up a little bit of the other people that are there, and we're doing, mind you, we're doing all this without McGlynn.
And Gus, I was just about to ask you too. What has changed in Jim Curtin's playbook from 2 months ago to now all of a sudden his stars are looking good. They're getting the right shots. They're hustling more. Do you think it's a conversation they've had in a locker room behind closed doors? I mean, what do you think has turned the page
We went to a
positively for
five
this
three
team?
two. We went to a 5-3-2. And it's been working. When you put five in the back there, it like again, you still
Thanks,
have
Art.
your thanks a lot, brother. You still have your core defending the goal, right? In Glassness, Elliott, and you have Martinez and Fly coming back, but you have Glasness, Elliott, Lowe just sitting there, and Lowe plays a little aggressively because he likes to bring the ball up, and he
Hmm.
has a eye for goal. But as a defender, that's pretty good. But we need him to come back, and he's a good defender. So we have Lowe, Elliott, and Glasness that sit back there, and then you have Wagner and Baggio just covering both the left and the right side. They can come back and they can move up. They have a little more freedom to work back and forth. And then in the middle, you have, now Curtin does play a little conservative here, put in Flock and Martinez, and then Gastag in the middle. Gastag is more up top. Martinez and Flock, they play a little behind because they're more there for defense than not. I think that when McGlynn comes back, Flock gets out of the lineup. McGlynn goes in, and then he plays kind of in the middle. McGlynn is not the best defender ever, but again, if you put him in there, we'll increase our chances of goal. And then we still have a pretty solid foundation in the back when it comes to defense. So we have a couple different options right now. I don't think that he should stay away from the formation that he put out. It's been working, so man, write this out until it doesn't anymore.
Yeah, well, listen, Gus. We're going to get right back in this, but real fast. I want to get into a sponsor of ours, real fast. And if you guys are quickly want to thinking about, possibly, I need a relax time. I need to know what it's like to enjoy a Philly sports trip and possibly hear what I'm hearing what Gus and Pat are talking about. I'm hearing about these as you see on right here on the front, you guys are thinking about want to see the Eagles come up this fall to take on the heavy, I don't like saying this, the Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs. Maybe you guys want to make a trip up to New England, Dallas. Maybe you guys want to go out to Los Angeles to see the Rams, Seattle. If you've never been out there, maybe you guys want to make a nice, warm, late September ride. It's still going to be beautiful out there to Tampa. Um, you guys could also do that. It's Philly Sports Trips. My man Vinny has you covered. Tell him the EOP sent you. Uh, it's a great time. It's worth all the money. I've heard nothing but great things about these trips. But listen, they don't just do Eagles trips here. They do Sixers. They do Flyers. They got Phillies, and of course, right here as we talk about, they got Philadelphia Union. So guys, get on that train. But yeah, guys, to get back into our conversation here, look, the Union are coming up big. They're like I said, they're hitting on the right cylinders. Jim Kern's got these guys playing well. The locker room leadership has done some things. I mean, there's something clicking about this team. And like I said, I noticed last night's game, they just come out boom with offensive pressure. I mean, right out the shoot. I mean, they were coming. There was no sense of fatigue in the team. They were just coming out and
You
striking.
know why though,
Unfortunately,
right?
what's that?
You know why you didn't see any fatigue or anything like that in the field.
Because old man Bedoya wasn't on the field.
Old ass man Bedoya wasn't in there. Yes, good
Yes,
job, Pat.
yes. I've learned. I have written that into my memory bank of homework from you. I don't know if my
Now listen,
man
I, I, I
Diego's
don't, I
gonna.
don't, I don't. I'm not gonna talk too bad about Bedoya. And again, I realize what he represents to the city, to the
Yes.
Philadelphia Union, but just not doing us any favors on the
No, he
field.
does.
That's
He's
all.
doing us favors by sitting on the bench.
Yeah,
That's the favor he's doing.
go ahead, old man, do your thing.
And I think maybe Jim Curtin came to realize that, like, you know what? Let me keep this guy on the bench. I got to keep their young, fresh legs. There's no, chaotic, scenes right now. And here we go
He's the
too, guys.
he's the Udonis Haslam of the Philadelphia Union.
Yeah, he's been in kind of the gray spot on the team. But here goes another thing too. What I like about this, and I got this note down, the New York YFC, came in winning 5 of 7 games at home with 2 ties. I mean, they were pretty much undefeated at home, and the Union not just beat them, rocked them,
Yeah,
rocked
yeah.
them 3-1.
No, I mean, all signs pointed at a loss. And I think I'm pretty sure I said that we tie them. I think that's what I projected.
Hmm.
Um, everybody pretty much projected a loss, and simply because of that, they won. They were winning at home. Every time they played a City Field, they've won. this is the first time that any team has ever beat them in City Field. So we had
And,
a lot of chips against us, but as a true Philadelphia team, we didn't give a crap, dude. We
yeah,
just
no, no,
kept
and
going.
the funny part is because I remember last week I was watching the press conference with New York, and the coach said they're all prepared for the Union. I was like, you sure? You were sure about that?
Listen, if
You
the
sure
Phillies
about
don't
that?
want to win City Field, the damn Philadelphia Union will.
They And speaking of, I have a beef, I have a violation,
Oh,
I have
oh,
everything I need to call out. And speaking of, on two people of this city, Scott Francis and Kenny Stockton, who do play-by-play for the Phillies. They were calling the game today, and they had no idea why that that their soccer team, the MLS NYFC, had lines going through. They had no idea that there was a soccer game on. They don't even know who was even up there. Violation that you don't know the Philadelphia Union were up there. Violation on use two.
for shame.
Shame, shame, walk of shame. Now I'm
All
not
right,
asking.
Pat, please don't get naked though, please.
Oh, okay. Well, that was going to be the next part, but don't worry, I only got blue underwear on this time. Um, but listen, again, your your Philadelphia Union take care of business on the road. They take care of business at home. How do you want it? You write it down. They could beat you up. However, they could beat you up on defense. They could beat you up on offense. You want it across the middle. You want it from distance at from yeah no outside that box. How do you want it? They can score on you. Do you want it right down
Our
in your crease? How do you want it?
our game is pretty much born through the defense, right?
Right.
Because it's so solid. Right, like, it really is. It's not. I'm not saying that it's the best in the MLS. It's up there.
Right.
But it's solid. And a lot of our opportunities, a lot of our chances of goal, they come from the back. You see Glesner's vision for the long pass is pretty great. Elliott doesn't do that as often. Elliott is just a really good defender and just really tall. So his strides actually mess up the other team. Whoever the striker is for the other team, Elliott is so long that his strides mess them up because they think they have more time to get the ball in the back of the net. They really don't.
No.
Two of Elliott's strides, it's like six of your regular striker in the MLS.
Right.
And when you see that live, right, and you look at this guy that he's not moving his legs as fast as you are, so you're thinking, okay, I got this guy beat, and then all of a sudden he's right there with you, taking the ball away, and that's one of his things. It's one of the things that he does really well,
He can pick you off straight. He
especially
reads where you want to
yeah,
go with the ball.
especially in a league like the MLS, right? I think he's in the perfect spot. I don't foresee Elliott going anywhere anytime soon. But he's also a huge part. But all of our success comes from a solid back, and then
Right.
after that, everybody else just has to do their job. But if they don't do their job, if our CBs don't do their job, I know this is gonna sound like duh. If the defense doesn't play defense, they're not gonna win. But that's not what I mean. I mean, if they don't do their job, then we can't produce at all. So not only are we
Right.
gonna lose the game, we just won't be able to at least get the chance to produce, right? And I'm including Wagner and Bizo on this list too, because if they
Right.
don't have good games, so we struggle also. So it all comes from behind there. And as long as Gastag looks like he got going a little bit in the last couple games. I want to say the last 5 games, he's been a lot better than he was at the beginning of the season because he just wasn't doing anything. Um,
Hmm.
so he's been a ton. He's been a lot better, which is nice to see. I mean, he's still making some mistakes here and there. Right before his goal against which by the way, it was counted as an own goal because it hit the goalie, the post, and then the goal, and then the goalie again, and then the goal. But it was from his header. Right before that, he missed a wide open chance, but he
Yes.
and then I don't know if you saw, but when he scored, he went like this to somebody. I don't know who he was talking
Yes.
to, but I think I think that was a message like saying like I can make a mistake, but I can also back the shit up. So
Yeah, yeah.
um,
And you saw, like I
I'm
said,
glad,
he was
I'm
that,
glad I saw that.
and guys like too, like I said, right timing, front of the net, head button his way in. Just like I said, there's, I was 2 months ago, I was pushing the panic button and I was pushing it hard. I was pushing it, slamming. I thought this is what this team was, just mediocre, maybe 1 or 2 goals, averaging. Now they're averaging 3 goals. They're dominating on both sides of the ball. They look very, very well. But Gus, before we get some more action, I do have a question for you because a certain somebody got a little bit of a contract extension, and before we get in that, let's talk about this Philadelphia Union guys. If you are looking to go down to a Union game or a concert or theater, um, sharedtickets.com. Go to them today. Save yourself 10% off by using the promo code EOP10, and the price you get, no hidden fees. So, Gus, today somebody got a little bit of cash in their pocket. How do you feel about Jose Martinez getting getting his payday?
First, I want you to say his nickname.
I'm not doing it. I can't even say my nickname.
Come on, Pat, you can do it. I just taught you. It was really easy.
Uh, Barrejo.
Oh, El Brujo. Yes,
El
Brujo. Brujo got his contract extension through 2025 with the
How do you
option of
feel about it?
2020. I mean, I feel good. He's young. He's a nice piece to what we do here. I know he's frustrating at times. Very frustrating at times. Just because he has like uh just knucklehead plays and
Hmm.
it's something that that you don't expect from a professional player at times. But then he also after that he does something to make it up, like he did the other game uh, against New York. Like he was the reason they scored right in the first place because it was
Hmm.
his turnover. But then he had that beautiful pass for the goal for the Carranza goal. So you know he's only 28 years old. He signed through 2025, 2026 maybe. That's another 3 years. He'll be 31. I was just talking to my man Diego. I wouldn't be surprised if this man is another Bedoya in 10 years. Well, he's just
Oh.
gonna be here for morale, and I'm good with it because that's what he does. He's not the best player ever, but he has your back. Um, he can defend because he can defend, and then sometimes he just tries to do a little too much. Um, when the ball in the offensive side of the ball, when it comes to like short passing or long passing, and to just shoot the ball. He's not the best. That's not his job though. His job is to be kind of an enforcer in the middle
Hmm.
and defend. So I love the extension. I think. I mean, I knew it was going to happen. It was just a matter of time. They want to keep him and they want to keep him happy. At this point, like I said, I foresee Brujo just being another Bedoya, which he just stay here for the rest of his career.
Let me ask you though. I mean, you've, like I said. So basically, you're saying he has plays, but then you find yourself scratching your head like, what in the world are you doing? I don't think that the pay was, like you said, he might be like one of those guys who are going to be hanging here for years. He might be a goon, a hockey goon where he can come up with some decent plays, but at the same time,
Yeah,
I'll fight
then
for
that's what he
you.
does.
You know what I mean? So, is he worth the payday? Is he worth it? Because that money's going so I don't know, but we're gonna find out soon. So, look, if he could be a physical facilitator, I'll take it. I'll take him send up people for nice goals, him finding people open. I'll take that all day. So if the good weighs out the bad, I'll take him. I'll take him.
Well,
And then
facilitator, I don't know about facilitator because again, he does have a ton of just knucklehead plays.
well,
Um, but he's there. He's definitely an enforcer. He's definitely there for defense. And And again, like he's a solid player. There's a reason, Venezuela doesn't have a ton of great players, but there's a reason why he gets called up every time um, to play with his country. It's because he's they know what he can do,
Right.
and they appreciate it. So as long as your team and your coach more than anything can appreciate what you do on the field in terms of maybe not the best player, not the most skilled, but you have the one job, kind of like a PJ Tucker, right? He that,
Okay,
that's
that makes
that's
it
my
easier for
best.
me.
I think that's my best comparison. It's like a PJ Tucker. You don't need him to score, but get me those 10 rebounds that I need. Get me that
Right.
50-50 ball that I need. Give me that, maybe that corner three sometimes, right? That I don't need you to be a scorer. I need you to be an enforcer. I need you to do the grunt work so we can work, right? And everybody needs it. Everybody has that. You see it in basketball all the time.
Right.
I truly believe that Golden State doesn't win without Draymond Green. I truly believe that Giannis doesn't win without PJ Tucker. I, you know, even players like Braun, like Jordan, like Pippen was gritty. Like that's what he did. And if you have your supporting cast just playing for you like that, I mean, you're going to be successful.
Right, with a physical presence. That's what you need. You need guys with physical presence. Um, and look, and he brings it. I mean, he brings it all the time. And like you said, that's why they signed him. Like you said, that's the best comparison and analogy. He's our PJ Tucker. He's going to
You
scrap
know
you the
what's
ball.
funny? He's not even that big. He's just
Really?
scrappy. Yeah, he's 5'10". Like he's not that big at
Wow.
all.
He's more like
But
a
he's scrappy.
Roskin Gudis. He's more of a
Yeah, but he,
Gudis from the Florida Panthers.
yeah, but he's scrappy. He can he can get it done. He grew up in Venezuela, man. Like you have to be a scrapper.
Well, listen, if he can scrap, that's all that matters. Look, if he's doing what he's doing now, like I said, getting physical, getting the heads of a couple of players, getting the offensive rebounds, maybe like you said, setting up Gazag and Carranza with some nice looks and all that stuff. I'll take it. If this is what's going to keep a lean part of that recipe for success, I'll take it all day. That's what we need. Um,
Mm.
but like I said, we'll see if that, whether the paycheck is going to be nice or not. Like you said, he's only here for 3 years. You're not really breaking the bank on the guy. It was, it's something
No,
that, it was probably a meeting that Jim Curran probably alluded to, like, yeah, I'm going to need him for the future. If he's going, again, he probably seen something like, yeah, he's giving these guys some looks. He's scrapping. He's being physical out there. He's getting in people's heads. I'm going to need a guy like him for the next few years.
and you hit on a very important point, and that's the money, right? Because no, he's
Right.
not going to cost you that much. I think his old deal was around $300,000,
Right.
which in retrospect, I mean, it's a lot, but it's nothing, right?
Right.
So if
Right.
you're paying that much for somebody like Rujo, what he brings, I'm all for it all day, every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, Obviously, this contract is gonna. I'm not really sure that the numbers have come out just yet for the new contract. Um, but I assume it's gonna be a bump. It's not gonna be a huge bump. Um, but it is gonna be a bump from the 300,000. But again, like when you're looking at it, 300,000 is nothing.
No.
So whatever we're going to pay him, we're still going to come out on top, as the Philadelphia Union love to do and have been doing for years, and that's maintaining a lower budget and earning more than what we spend, especially on players.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And again, you're not breaking the bank. You're setting yourself up for the future. And look, you don't have to go wild and bring in, just enough where you can maneuver where you have to go. And if you, like I said, you're going to continue to get success from your superstars of the team, and you got, like a supporting cast that's getting physical, setting them up for selling to these guys who are playing around these guys and make these guys better. Then absolutely, you take it all day, every day. Uh, so listen,
And again, it's something that we want to keep going with, right? So this isn't going to. First of all, this this isn't going to distract anybody. Extending Martinez, nobody's going to, just sit there and say, well, why didn't I get extended? Because it's not really a huge contract. So, it's not going to disrupt anything. It was a great move by the Philadelphia Union. It's been working so far. It's going to keep working as long as we have the team that we have and the coach that we have. So it was a no brainer move for the Philadelphia Union.
Right. So, um, listen, let's give two more sponsors a shout out, and then we're gonna get ready to wrap this bad boy up for the people. And so here we go for real fast. Let's talk these great sponsors. Where are we at here? Jesus. Uh, David Archerry Esquire, guys.
This
Hit
is
him.
what happens
Yeah,
when I get mad at Pat and then I punch him in the face at work.
yes, yeah, Gus. Read it all, buddy.
You gotta call if you do have any workers' compensation, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, or criminal law. Contact our guy David Archery Esquire 610-565 0300. Again, our man David Archery. If you have any workers' compensation, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, or criminal law, or if you just want to punch a coworker in the face, you can give him this card right after you get done. Like I want to do with Pat after this.
Burr? And guys, look, Dolan's Bar, Philadelphia. Well, this just passed a couple weeks ago. You see the people run down at this bar, right? Great spots. Get your drinks. 24 East Sellers have Ridley Park. Go hang out with these guys, man. Again, look at some of the great people who've been there. Charlie Manuel, Mickey Morandine. Everyone knows Jimmy, the sports guy. He is everywhere. Hollis Thomas, a great guy. I personally got to meet the man. Um, Again, you don't know who's going to walk down Dolan's, but it's a great time for anybody. Um, anybody who wants to, go out there for, maybe a drink, maybe we'll get, have a good time for sports. They always have giveaways. Um,
We love giveaways. I think last time we went somewhere, you won a pen.
yes, yes. Um, yes, but yeah, look, let me get it rolled back. Where did I go here? Jeez, I'm still rookie at this. But look, Gus, I'm gonna let you grow. I know you got some stuff. So, but real fast, I need to get your prediction on Montreal coming into South, in Subaru Park. They are losing, a team that's struggled. They won three straight, then they lost three straight. This team is very up and down. They lost three in a row on the road. Is this a trap game?
So I got to tell you, I'm going to be there as a fan. When I'm there as a fan, we don't lose. So I'm saying,
Oh, maybe they could use it as a mascot.
when I'm, well, I'll take it as long as I
Yes,
get the game.
yes.
I'm saying the Philadelphia Union 4, Montreal 2, and we walk away with the win.
All right. Well, listen. Well, Gus, luck, man. Here goes. I'm gonna need a lot of cards. Ha ha. Ha. Oh, my man. My man's a funny guy over here, Mister Art. Thanks for the shout. Thanks for the plugs. Appreciate the love, brother. Gus, go take care of my nephew. I will handle this portion of the show. Gus, you heard live from Gus first. He says that the Montreal is going on.
So they're going to
So
go right back to Canada crying. I'm telling you right now, we're going to be there and we're going to make sure that they go back to Canada crying.
that's what I'm talking about. See you guys. I'll catch you later. Look, guys, you heard Gus. If the Union can bring their A game like they've been doing, for 6 out of 7, and they didn't lose at home. They've gotten to a tie. Yes, DC has turned their season around. They're one of the top teams. I should have asked Gus this question. I forgot to do it. But the problem with the Union is they've beaten only two teams that are qualified playoff teams. They didn't beat really contenders. They've been beating a bunch of scrap teams. I'll take the win. I'll take it. But I want to ask the fans out there: Are you bought in? Are you bought in with the Union or selling it? Only being two teams that are playoff worthy. Here goes my man Art asking with something up here from Twitch. Appreciate my man Art always checking. Always think of the best question after the fact. Yes, I am. Yes, that's when my light bulb comes on. Art is when someone leaves and I come up with a good question. It's never when the time is needed. But anyway, again, are you guys satisfied with what you're seeing from the Union? Win 6 out of 7 games, only beating two contender teams. I'm a little bit sold right now. I'm a little bit sold. Your Batman and Robin, you know, are hitting the 1-2 punch on people. Your two superstars are coming around. Your goalkeeper is playing legitly really solid. The defense in front of him is playing really well. It seems like the weather broke, and so did the Philadelphia Union in a good way. In a good way, they're not slumping. They're not slumping at all. They're finding ways to win. Ways to win. 3-0, 3-1, 1-0. However you want to cookie, Chris. You know, this team is winning big, and this is what you needed. Like I said, I don't care about the other tournament plays, and matter of fact, if I was the commissioner of the league, I would ban it. Seriously, it provides your players not getting hurt. You need those players every Saturday. You don't need them on a Tuesday playing against this cup championship and this cup championship and this cup championship. It's to me, it's more complication of the game. I don't need it. I just need regular prime time, just regular playing season time. It's easier for people to follow. They're not. It's hard for them to follow this tournament and that tournament. I want to just follow the MLS and the regular season. You know. But anyway, um, back to my original question here: are you the fans out there bought into this Union team? I am. And this might be because all what the Phillies have put me through on this emotional roller coaster, but I'm all bought in what the Union is selling me. Both sides of the ball looking really solid. You have a three-party that's really good. And that's all you need in soccer: goaltending, defense, goal scores, and they got it. They've got it everywhere. Again, guys were setting them up. Guys like Uwa, you know, guys are finding the open net, and that's what you need. Dudes are looking really good. Again, your 1-2 punch, Gazak, Carranza, just find the back of the net, lighten the lamp, if you will, in hockey. You're just looking really solid. I love what this team's doing. I love it. I would love to know what's going through the mindset. And maybe Gus is right. Maybe the sitting putting bench on that, maybe putting Bedoya on the bench has helped this team 100 times better. There's no stupid penalties. There's none of that. You know, the ref ain't running over and flipping out the card every 3 seconds. There's none of that. None of that. But you're getting solid play. You're getting solid play without him, and so you kind of figure out your own problem. You know what I mean? If you got to ask the question, what am I doing with Bedoya? You're got your own answer to your own question. Set them down. Set them down because, like I said, 2 months ago you were not even in the playoff realm. You were under the playoff realm. 9 teams make the team. Uh, 9 teams make the playoffs in the MLS. What's up, Daniel? What's up? What's up? What's up? 9 teams make the on both sides, East and West. So a total of 18 teams make the MLS playoffs. But you got to be in range. So, like I said, what the Philadelphia Union's doing, I like it. Like I said, they've only beat 2 teams that are qualified. There are uh, playoff worthy right now, playoff contenders. It's okay. It's okay. You can't control who you play in front of you. You're doing your work. You're doing now. Listen, Montreal is a 10 seed, so we don't know. Uh, this game scares me. This game scares me. The fact that they're struggling on the road, the fact that they're in the 10th seed, looking to trying to get into the playoff realm. They're kind of like in that. They're in the hunt. So a wounded animal does two things with its back against the wall. It comes and strikes you hard, or turns into roadkill. That's the only two. It's the only two chances a wounded animal has when their backs are against the wall. Did the Philadelphia Union take full advantage and make sure they pay the piper, or did they come up short, or did they crumble? We'll find out. We're gonna find out come Saturday. And by the way, if anybody has Apple TV, you don't have to get the package Saturday, but I mean you're gonna have to get the MLS package in following weeks. However, this one's a freebie. This one's a freebie on on Apple TV. So if you guys do have Apple TV, you want to, like I said, I don't know if anybody's who's invested in Union Soccer and want to give it a try. Listen, the ratings went up skyrocket last year when the Union went into the MLS finals. Skyrocket. They said it went up by 20%. Philly loves a winner. The Phillies ain't getting it done. The Phillies ain't getting it done, but the Union are. The Union have turned things around. Like I said, we'll see what they do coming up here Saturday night. I will have a article written for you guys. I will be doing the article. So we'll see. Gus will be at the game as a fan, checking out. So if you guys want to go hang out with Gus, go hang out with him. I advise you guys to go hang out with Gus. Good dude. Known him my whole childhood. Still can't get his full name right. But anyway, let's talk a little bit more before we wrap up the show. Uh, Again, the topic of conversation for this show: are you sold on what the Union are giving you? A 1-2 punch. Daniel Gazdag, Julian Carranza, total of 9 goals in their last 5 games, have been playing really, really solid. Um, I like what I really, really like what I'm seeing from those guys. The superstars have woken up, and then of course on the back end, the defense, Andre Blake stopping anything that comes at him. The defense in front of him playing, giving him a hand. I wish this could have helped for the Flyers every once in a while because there's never no defense in front of Carter Hart. Never any defense. That guy is fighting any previous goalie I've seen coming through the Flyers look like they're getting rocked left and right with no defense in front of them. But anyway, we're not here to talk about those lonely losers. We're here to talk about your Philadelphia Union, who's a winner in this town, who's the winner. You know what I mean? This might be the bridge that gets you from here to the Eagle season. You know what I mean? So buckle up, everybody, because the Union are coming in for a landing. They're coming in, and Montreal will be coming into Subaru Park, Chester, PA. Bell time 6:40, I believe. I believe it's an early one. So guys, get ready for a showdown. Um, what do you guys think? What do you think the outcome's going to be? This one's a little. Do you guys smell a trap game? You guys smell a trap game out there? You feel like it's going to be a trap game Saturday night? You know, it could possibly be. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Saturday night's going to be a trap game. I'm not. It might be. I mean, as bad as Montreal's looking at as a late, I don't know. Like I said, they just went tick for tack with DC United tying it 2 apiece. They lost two previous to that. They're actually just getting in from LA. Um, so prior to that, so I mean, like I said, they spent some time on the road, but now they're going to be coming to Philadelphia. They're going to be coming to Philadelphia, and they're going to be wanting to cause problems for your Philadelphia Union. And I don't think the Union are going to just going to let that be. I just, you saw yesterday, right? They come out with this aggressive offensive pressure that they were just um, that they were just tacking on, that they were just tacking on. They brought this offensive pressure, and they looked really, really solid yesterday. Again, missing shots, getting called off at offensive all sides. Uh, that's going to happen in soccer games, but if that didn't have if the offsides weren't there, and if they were connecting on their shots, this could have been real ugly. This could have been like a 4 or 5 win for your Philadelphia Union. Um, all right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love weed. Uh, DC, Dallas Eagles, Dallas Cowboys. Great. Thanks. Uh, thanks, pal. Well, thank you for chiming in this show. I really don't know. I don't think DC stands for Dallas Cowboys, but in your world, if that's what it means, that's what it means. So, but anyway, guys, for me to wrap up the show, I am Patrick Bernard. I appreciate everyone who chimed in with me for the last hour. Like I said, I enjoy talking Union soccer. I love doing this all. I eat and breathe this business. So anyway, guys, real fast, if you guys haven't heard the news, um, we've pretty much I've told you guys about all the great sponsors of the network and all that show. Um, Edge Phillies, Philly sports trips. You have shared tickets. You have Dolan's Bar. You have David R. Cherry Esquire. Guys, great sponsors of the network. And plus, too, I need to hear from the people out there. If one more time, do you think Saturday's a trap game? 6 out of 7 wins for your Philadelphia Union. Five, in the last 5 games, down Gazdag, Julian Carranza put up 9 goals. I don't see them losing. I don't. I'm sorry. I think they're going to go into. I think Montreal's going to come in there just to get beat down. A beat down. Again, the Union ain't going nowhere. They're going to relax. They're getting some preparation. They're practicing in. They're going to be ready to rock and roll. I think once the minute the horn is sounds, it's going to be 1-on-1. It's going to be and they're just going to come out just like they did against Charlotte. They're just going to come out with a bunch of offensive pressure. That's going to be way too much for Montreal. I think this team has woken up. I think they're not going to see something like this Union team. A lot of people uh, are not seeing the fast pace, the up tempo style of this Philadelphia Union. They're bringing it. They're bringing it every night now. Like I said, winners is 6 out of 7, and they tied it with a DC team that's turned it around. And bad teams are going to do that from time to time. Again, I know this is beginning of summer. I know we have a long summer ahead of us, but you got to be happy currently what you see from the Philadelphia Union. And listen, I don't know what direction this Phillies team is going to be on, but look, as everyone knows, I'm a 6 for 6 guy, but I'm happy what I'm seeing from the Union. Happy what I'm seeing. This is what champions play like. They are the Eastern Conference champions, and this is how they are that for a reason. So they're playing like it. So, you know, teams in the East, you better watch your back because they're sitting at 30 now. They could be sitting at 1 by mid June. By mid June, they could be sitting at number 1 in the Eastern Conference. A slow start, crazy finish. That's all that matters. Um, but anyway, like I said, guys, thank you so much for chiming in with me, Pat Bernard, aka the Gobbler, aka Pat from Ambler. I'm glad that everyone had the opportunity to chime into the show. Uh, I'm glad that everyone, took a little bit of time out of their day to chime in with me. Uh, Tomorrow, I believe my man Al Safiri will be on the call for the Phillies finals. Give him a shout out tomorrow and go Union.